Hello and welcome to another episode of Canadian Stacker. Today I'm on the Ottawa River again, and well, today's the day. It's a magical day. I don't know if any of you know what today's magical day is, but I sure as heck know what it is. It's rate day! Yeah, the Fed's having their meeting while I'm at work today, so I figured I'd do a little jaunt of a video about it and what I think's going to happen today. Well, like I said, the Fed's not going to stop rate hiking. And I believe today they're going to hike. And I think Jerome is going to basically say that the Fed's going to, over the next month, they're going to look at it and they're going to contemplate the market stability, you know. But once again, the Dow Jones isn't the economy, you know. But I don't know, man. The Federal Reserve and the U.S. government seem to think the Dow Jones going up and down, that's what's the economy. Me, I don't work for any of the companies that are on the Dow. I don't know if any of you are. But, yeah, the Dow Jones, it's been going up lately. Wonder why that's happening. Could it have anything to do with the fact the U.S. dollar's losing strength? And that it's not really going up? It's just the company's valuating, you know, in weakening American dollar terms to everything else in the world. And people are having to pay more. Could be the same reason why silver and gold have been going up. I don't know. I don't see any correlation though. But, you know, we got those people saying that the U.S. economy is strong. We're doing great. You know, and, you know, the U.S. economy is doing what it usually does, just churning along. Everybody keeps saying I see the economy improving. You know, like a lot of people are saying, you know, like in the government, that everything's getting good. It's a good day. It's great. It's awesome. Well, I hate to break it to everybody, but I'm personally thinking that the Dow Jones is going to take a thromping right after this interest rate note. Why is that? Well, I don't think they're going to get what they want. And the market, you know, they've been buying into this position where they're sucking money out of all of us losers, you know, and putting it into their own pockets. But, well, the reckoning's coming, and there's going to be a pullback. You know, 35,500, mighty lofty numbers for the Dow. You know, it looks like it's a bull market, and, you know, feels like it's a bull market, but it doesn't smell like a bull market. Well, unless you're smelling the wrong end of the bull, and then you probably got the right thoughts. But yes, I see the Dow not doing so well. I'm also going to tell you that more than likely I see a small pullback in gold and silver as well. Yeah, we might see a little bit of strengthening over the next few days, but ultimately, I think we're almost to the point now where silver and gold are gonna go, oh, I'm so tired, and it's just gonna choke out. Oh, that's until the Fed starts cutting rates, and the U.S. dollar starts weakening again, more faster, and then you're gonna see silver and gold do something, and they're gonna do something magical. But you know, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, this isn't financial advice. I'm a guy that's got no school education on nothing. You know, I'm just a loser. You know, I have no idea what I'm talking about, none at all. But I will say I've been stacking for a very long time, and I've been in the jobs market for a very long time, and I've run businesses, you know, and I know how they work. And if I apply the logic to the federal government's crap logic, I get a completely different picture than they do on this rosy bull turd that we're all in right now that they keep saying's here. Do I think that the U.S. economy is doomed to fall into perpetual darkness? No. Do I see a pullback? Oh, heck yes. Do I see a big one? Yeah, probably 30%. You know, that's the usual mean for stuff like this, 30%. Are we going to go into like a great financial depression? Well, we're already in a recession. I don't care really what the government numbers state and how they word their CPI numbers. We're already in, if you go by the old metric, a state of recession. We've been in a state of recession for a while now. But the government just doesn't want to admit it. The thing is I think we're going to slide into a depression. Now, a depression is measured by multiple quarters being in the negative. And since I'm not measuring on the Federal Reserve scheme numbers, I personally think that we're entering depression territory right now. And it's unfortunate that the federal government and you know, the Federal Reserve, they're not, you know, proactive. They're reactive. Until they see something they don't like, they don't do much of nothing. It's just the status quo, you know. That's the way it goes. The Federal Reserve and and the federal government, they kind of go together, you know. But I see a time here now where now that the Fed now is here, you know, like a lot of people started getting little mailers, oh, new upcoming features coming to your bank account, and they tell you what all the features are of what you're going to get. You're going to get like thousands more point pays, you know, like where you're going to be able to go use point of purchase. More online stores are going to open up to you, ATMs. Everything's going to be so much smoother, so much better. But when you read in that fine print, they don't tell you what's wrong with it, what they're changing. They don't tell you that, you know, it's going to be an instant payment system that they can choose to cancel at any time. Your financial ability to spend as a Canadian, I'm well aware of what the government can do. We had that simple little thing called a protest there where, you know, 5 people went down to Ottawa in 3 trucks and they protested, you know, as a fringe minority for 2 months, 3 months in the bitter cold. You know, and by bitter cold, what do I mean? 0 degrees Fahrenheit for like a month. Like, can you imagine, like, trying to live in your pickup truck or your transport truck or your car for 2 or 3 weeks at 0 degrees? It's not a nice thought. And, well, how did they wind up ending that? We all know. Canada's a great country. They went out, they talked to the protesters, they listened to their needs, and they said, as the government, we're going to help out and we're going to make this better. And no, they didn't. They came out with tear gas, rubber bullets, and horses, and they ran people over. You know, don't kid yourself. The Canadian government is just as tyrannical as every other government in the world when push comes to shove. The only thing that matters to every government in the world is the guarantee of the continuation of power and the government maintaining control. So your rights are okay and you can have them up until the point that you really need to use them. And then out comes the tear gas and the riot police. And, you know, back to that banking thing I was talking about, you know. After all this happened, well, the people that wound up donating money to the protesters and the protesters themselves got their bank accounts blocked. The government went, yeah, we don't like that. We're just going to take all that information that you guys used on GoFundMe and all the banking information, and we're literally going to start locking bank accounts. And I know the government in the US already has that power to lock bank accounts, but this is going to be even better. You know, instant financial payment. You know, if we want to give you money because we think the economy is going badly, we can just drive that money instantly into your FedNow account, and boy, oh boy, you get paid right away. But what they're not telling you is they can block that money of yours pretty much right away. They can take it away. Look at Russia. Like, I'm not saying that anything about this. I'm not picking a side, but Russia got all their money taken away right out of the federal bank. You know, and then they're now giving it away. They're like, hey, Russia, you don't need your money. It was your money. You know, you let us look after it for you, but we're just going to show our true colors. You know, if we don't like what you do as a nation, we're going to imprison your money, make you a debt slave. Even worse, we're going to financially ruin you. Comply, or else. You know, and it's unfortunate, but money needs to be a real store of wealth, and money needs to be separate from the banking system. There's no money in the banking system. It's all fiat. You know, fiat by decree. That's what fiat means, by decree. And they're literally decreeing FedNow is going to be the new money. And they're going to roll you into this whether you want to or not. They're not going to give you a choice. You're just going to get rolled into it. Oh, I don't agree with that. I don't want that. The bank's going to say, well, go find another bank. But that's how they get you. They got you like that in the 70s. And then look at the inflation in the 70s. It was absolutely crazy. You know, in the 80s, it just went nuts. And that was after they went off the Bretton Woods system. Now we're going off the paper system. You know, Gresham's law states that good money drives out bad. I hear all these people saying you need a better way for money to work. That's why we do these things. We need a better way. You know, we had to go from, you know, shiny coins because they don't break down enough, you know, to be able to buy you much. You know, like shiny coins are bad. And, well, if you look at it from that viewpoint, yeah, I guess they are bad. But, you know, a mercury dime used to buy you a chocolate bar. I remember when I was a kid, you know, like a dime would buy you a freaking chocolate bar. You know, 10 to 15 cents in Canada, 20 cents to get you a chocolate bar. You used to go to the store and get penny candies. You get 5 for a penny. And then it went to 3 for a penny. And then it went to 2, and then 1 for a penny. And now, well, it's 10 cents for, for 3 or 4 penny candies. And this is just in the last 40 years. Like our economy, if you think about that, I got 5 penny candies for a penny. A real copper penny, I might add, not these zinc-covered ones or whatever the heck they are that the U.S. still has. Canada doesn't have pennies anymore, well, because, it's too small of a denomination to be worth use in our system anymore. Nickels are on the way out next, I'm quite sure here. But that is the value of money decreasing. That is literally you watching it in real time, when they change your money. Like right now, I'd say that the Canadian dollar is the actual penny value that I had as a child. Like if you went with a dollar, because I can go to the dollar store and get a chocolate bar for $1 and a name brand chocolate bar. And when I was a kid, I used to get it for 10 cents. So that's a 90% decrease in the spending power of a child's idea of a dollar since 1980. Like literally 90%. We lost 8% before that. We lost 8% before that. And then we lost the other 90% since 1980. And to be frank, we've lost, in the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, we've lost 30% right off the top, right away, like 30% of our spending power. Like if you had $1,000 in 2020 or 2019 and you tried to recreate that purchasing power here in Canada, I don't know about the US, but here in Canada, we've had shrinkflation, we've had inflation, we've had everything. If you take that all into consideration on your food, I'm not going to, go and use iron ore as my idea of, where CPI should be. I'm going to look at a pound of steak, and I'm going to look at milk, and I'm going to look at cheese, and I'm going to look at eggs, and I'm going to look at putting fuel in my car. I used to be able to in 2019, 2020, 99 cents. Now it's $1.57. 57% inflation in 3 years. I used to be able to buy a dozen eggs for $1.99. Now they're $3.29. Once again, 33 to 40% inflation. These numbers aren't lying numbers. These are real numbers. Like literally 40% of our value of our money has gone away in the last 3 years. And people are like, no, it hasn't. It's only been like 5 or 6% inflation, The government says so. The root word for government is from the Greek language, which actually means mind control. If you actually look it up, I'm not kidding you, government means mind control. It's not bull. Go look it up. Go look up the root word for government and follow it all the way back to the Greek wording of it from back in the time of the Parthenon or Pantheon or however you say that. And literally that's what the breakdown is. So it's all a matter of representation. If they can make the economy look like the rosy end of a bull, you know what I mean? If they can make the economy look, the butt end of the bull look like the nose, you're going to eat it. You're literally going to eat it. Rather than having that nice juicy steak, you're going to eat from the less tasty side of the rump. You're going to eat from the round, and you're going to eat whatever comes out of it because the government's convinced you. They did a thing on chimpanzees back in the day. They put 6 chimpanzees in a room, and they put a banana on top of a pole. And every time the chimps climbed up the pole, it sprayed cold water on all the chimps in the room. And they did that, and eventually the chimps stopped trying to climb the pole and started beating each other up if one tried to climb the pole to get the banana. Because there was only one, and everybody got punished for it. The one chimp who got cold got the banana, but the other 5 chimps, they all got cold. So they beat the crud out of each other. And then after that measure was put in, they put in and took out one chimp and put in a new chimp. And that new chimp would go and try to climb the pole. And the 5 chimps would beat the crud out of the chimp that went to climb the pole. And then that chimp would be like, well, I don't know why, but I can't climb that pole. And they wouldn't climb the pole. And then every week they'd change it out with another chimp and another chimp and another chimp. And then eventually after 6 weeks, all the chimps had been replaced. And not a single chimp in that room had ever seen the cold water turn on. And they didn't know the reason why they couldn't climb the pole to get the banana. They just knew they got the ever-living tar beat out of them by the other chimps. That's where we're at now. My generation, I think, is the last generation alive, and I'm going to say between 50 and 40. That's like, if you're younger than 40, I'm sorry, you're a frog. You've been partially boiled in water. You don't see the full system for what it is. And if you're a young person listening to my channel, leave a thumbs up. Let me know you're enjoying the content. If you like the content. But if you're a young person and you're listening to my channel and you haven't read history, you have zero idea of the freedoms that have been lost and eroded away over time, and your financial value that's been taken from you as a citizen of Canada, the United States, Great Britain, or any other Western nation. You, under the age of I'd say 30, have no clue to the erosion factor. And to be honest, 30 to 20, you know some's there, but you don't know what you've lost. We've lost so much, and I'm going to get told by some people, oh, you just don't like the change because it's changed it and made things better for the other people. No, you don't understand. I'm not viewing this from that point of view. I'm viewing it from the point of view of financial wealth for the average person, and financial and freedoms for the average person. If you actually look into it, we've become so much worse here in Canada that literally you have to worry about what you say. You can go to jail now. You can go to jail for talking outside to your friends at a picnic table, and somebody overheard something you said and you hurt them with your words. You know, their feelings begin where your rights end. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that the world's going. You know, your feelings, your opinion ends where the people's feelings begin, and this is wrong. This is wrong. This is not the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is the freedom to say whatever you want. Now, that doesn't mean it's consequence free, because also with freedom of speech comes freedom of consequence. And back in the day, consequence was handed out to you if you were dumb. If you were a dumb poohead, you literally got told by everybody you were a dumb poohead. You know what I mean? You couldn't do certain things. It was taken care of. I'm not saying that things weren't worse in certain ways, but we fixed that in the 90s for the most part. And now we're being shamed into everything. And why is that? Because the government wants to have total control over your financial lives, total control over what you say, because if they can control what you say, control what you think, and control what you buy, they control you. That's the freedoms I'm talking about that you've lost. So you've lost the freedoms to say what you like, you've lost the freedoms to think what you want, you've lost the freedoms to buy what you'd like, save how you'd like, and, you know, control your own destiny. You know, my grandfather fought in World War II, and he fought for the rights, freedoms, and privileges for every single person that lives in my great nation and around the world that he helped fight. My uncles fought in wars as well. You know, like my uncle fought, you know, in Vietnam. My stepdad fought in the Gulf War. He fought in Bosnia. You know, like, my family knows sacrifice. You know, we really do. My grandfather lost a brother in the Great War, and by the Great War I mean World War I. He also lost another brother in the World War II. You know, my uncle got injured in the Vietnam War. My dad got his ability to walk taken away from him in the Gulf War by an accident that happened. So, you know, my family has seen sacrifice. I myself I can't work in the military, or I would have. I have a problem that I won't talk about here, but they wouldn't accept me for service. But I became a civilian worker for the military, and I did that job happily and graciously for 3.5 years of my life. And I got to work alongside our boys on the military base. And I transitioned over into aircraft and doing maintenance and shuttle work. And I've done work with the U.S. military. I've hauled jet engines for the military. In the U.S. I've hauled helicopter parts. I've done all kinds of stuff all around the world. So I've seen firsthand the sacrifices our boys make. I haven't had to make any of those sacrifices, and I thank them all for it. But literally, those sacrifices that they've all made for our freedoms are being eroded, just like our financial system. So, you know, I'm going to end this video on a high note. Good times are ahead. We just got to get through the bad times first to get to the good times. So, you know, stay strong, keep stacking, keep prepping. Rice prices are probably going to go up. I've been hearing these things that, you know, India shut down their rice sales out of country, which is 25% of the world's rice. So if you guys out there are listening, like your rice, maybe you should stock up on a few extra 20-pound bags and put them in your house for the year. I myself went out and I bought an extra 30 pounds just to make sure I was good. But anyways, that's it for today. Keep on stacking, keep your thumb to the sky, keep on being awesome. And we got David and Monica coming down. Look, see, David's doing the twirls for you. He's a show off, and he missed. Is he gonna get back up and in there? You gonna try for Big Smoothie, Dave? He can't hear me. Well, that's Big Smoothie right here, this little guy. We'll see if he drops in. And he dropped in. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I was gonna end the video, but since David's showing off, there we go. There. Anyways, so yeah, have yourselves a great day. Keep your thumb to the sky. Keep on stacking. Keep on prepping. And, you know, keep your nose to the grindstone. And don't forget to do what you need to do to stay spiritually sound. And by that I mean, you know, get on your knees occasionally and take care of yourselves. Anyways, have a great day.